Does everyone know what a mercury thermometer is?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, no, some. Does anybody, those who know what it is, do you know exactly how it works?
No.
No. Red stuff goes up.
Okay, the red stuff in a thermometer is called mercury. As the mercury is warmed, it expands, and as it expands, the mercury rises in the tube. So the warmer the room, the more it expands, and the higher the liquid flows in the tube. This displacement theory is used in nature and can even be applied to the Earth itself. My name is Jackson Graham, and I'm going to convince you the harmful risks of global warming through the greenhouse effect, elevated temperatures, and the rising sea level. First, the greenhouse effect. A greenhouse captures and holds heat and doesn't allow it to escape so that it can help a plant grow. So the ozone layer, just like a greenhouse to a plant, holds CO2 emissions close to the Earth's surface. The burning of fossil fuels causes CO2 emissions. According to studentenergy.org, a fossil fuel is an energy source made 286 to 360 million years ago by an organism. During the Carboniferous era, as these organisms would die, they would lay down. Their bodies would decompose into the ground, and with heat, time, and pressure, we now have fossil fuels. We use these fossil fuels today to power the technology that we have. Factories use them as we use cars and burn gasoline. Carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. We know that this has a negative effect on the atmosphere and the environment around us because cities and corporations are taking an initiative to stop it. We've started to gear more towards alternative energy sources like nuclear energy, wind energy, and solar energy. Hybrid cars and now electric cars are being promoted so that the use of gasoline is not unnecessarily blown out of proportion. The carpool lane is also a big initiative taken by cities to gear people more towards getting in the same vehicle so that there's not 5 people taking their separate vehicles to work when one could be taken to eliminate the unnecessary burning of the fossil fuel. With the excess amount of fossil fuels that we burn and people not realizing the effects that it has on the environment, the Earth's temperature is rising. National Geographic says that 11 of the past 12 years have been the hottest recorded since 1850. Now, back to our mercury theory with the displacement and the thermometer. The Earth's surface is 76% water. 90% of the Earth's fresh water is held in polar ice caps in the North and South Pole. So, as the Earth's temperature rises, all the water that's on the Earth has to climb just like the mercury in the thermometer. So where does it go? It floods the coastal cities and the coastlines of continents all over the world. Brian Fowler from the Climate Institute said that if the Greenland ice sheet were to melt, it alone could make the sea levels rise 200 feet. Now, to these rising sea levels, coastal cities like Venice are being affected by this every year, and it's getting worse for them, sometimes experiencing floods 3 meters high. This is enough to ruin the first floor of a business or a home or anything in most of these coastal cities. AquaAlta.com says the unusually high tides in coastal cities went from occurring less than 10 times a year to more than 60 times a year. That's a pretty significant change and causes a lot of problem for people who live in these cities. What are we trying to do about it? Well, Venetian engineers and people all around the world have tried to come together and think of a solution, or at least a way to help dissolve the problem. They've constructed the gated lock system. What this is a long gate of walls that has channels. When there's an aqua alta or a high tide expected to come in, these gates are raised so that the water can't flood the city at least as much or as badly and as quickly as it normally would if there was nothing there to help stop it at all. So in conclusion, global warming is a continuously expanding risk factor. As a group, all peoples need to come together to help emit the unnecessary contribution of burning fossil fuels to keep the problem rolling. So I hope rising temperatures, melting ice, the sea levels, and everything that we do to affect global warming don't get out of hand before we don't have any remedies available to fix them. Thank you.